What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. This is Yoda Y.O.D.A. You own destiny always. I am one of the contributors to the Sound Shaman project on Minds.com, and I believe now up on YouTube as well. And this is basically just to start out, just to get something out there on Minds.com specifically, because we've really enjoyed this platform so far. The Sound Shaman project wanted to get this going and just spark up some debate. And it is, let's see here, it is May 16th, 2018. It's about 2 o'clock. I'm rounding down because it's actually 2:02, so I'm just calling it 2 o'clock when I'm roughly recording this. And what are we going to talk about? Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you guys this is going to be very subjective, but at the same time, I'm going to try to get the information out there and just, I'm not going to rant on it as much as I can avoid it, but it will be unavoidable sometimes. We're going to cover everything from world news to finance, esoteric, aliens, you name it. In fact, if you want something covered, please message us on Minds.com or on YouTube, and you know, we'll check out the comments and everything, and we'll see if anybody wants us to cover anything in particular, cover something more, get somebody on the video cast, whatnot. So without any further ado, let's just hop right into the first issue that I see. Again, it is May 16th, 2018. It's 2:03 right now. And the latest update we've got, or that I have anyway, is I believe it was over 50 Palestinian protesters were killed. There have been attempts to link them to Hamas, or to say that Hamas is saying that the people killed were part of Hamas. I haven't seen any valid proof of that yet. And it comes on the around the Nakba, and as well as around the U.S. move of the embassy to Jerusalem. I mean, that was warned against by the international community left and right. Anyway, so it's really a travesty. We need to talk more about this. We need to discuss more about Israel. We need to discuss more about their government, not Jews, not blaming Jews. Jews are not the problem. Jews, I love you. Everybody, I love you. It's not a Jewish problem. It's a Zionist problem where there's globalists. I don't even think the globalists know that they're beholden to Zionist masters sometimes, but these Zionists, which in my opinion is you know, I really equate to that Matrix term where they had Zion, where all the humans were, and you know, then they had all the people still in the Matrix, and the people in the Matrix movie, people from Zion were trying to free everybody else. Well, this Zion, where all the humans are, the real humans, they're not trying to free anybody. They're trying to put them in that. They've been given the job of keeping you in the Matrix. So, you know, we don't need to blame the Jews anymore, or the Arabs, or anybody. It's not an Islamic problem. It's not a Jewish problem. It's not a black and white problem. It's not even really a political or governmental problem that can be fixed through voting or anything like that. This is a systemic flaw in human consciousness allowing for this to continue to occur. Not that it can't be fixed. Of everything, you know, it's like any problem. It has a solution. But the real reason I just wanted to talk about Gaza is, you know, Nikki Haley saying that it has nothing to do with the move. Israel is exercising better restraint than any nation at the UN. Well, it's just simply untrue. Both statements are false. Sorry, Nikki, you're wrong. And, you know, for me, anybody who supports Trump at this point, I really think, and you know, I am not bashing anybody who does support Trump, but I think that at this point, we really need to just look at the context of all the situations he's involved with as a whole, rather than taking little bits here and there and trying to cobble them together into a scenario that makes him look better than he really, you know, like he's doing better than he really is. You know, we just had North Korea basically cancel talks because of John fucking Bolton, the neocon, just madman, the just foaming, raving at the mouth lunatic, pounding the drums of war as hard and heavily as possible. You know, it's just, there's not a good state for American politics or Israeli politics. I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu is being investigated for fraud, corruption, and bribery. So it's like, for me, I'm like, it doesn't matter what even the politicians, they all work together. They're all part of the same interconnected international network, and they go to the same fucking parties. Even Putin meets with Netanyahu. You know, Russia's probably not going to be the savior, because I think the problem here, and this is an excellent chance to segue into the second topic I want to get to, which is kind of like the transhumanist 5G AI problem. And it is a fucking problem. Pardon the French there. I will include an explicit marker. But I think part of the problem is that we have only thus far seen technology as a benefit to ourselves, and we really are in denial that we're close to Skynet. I think we're actually past the I don't even think... Okay, here's what I think about AI, just to get it out of the way. I think AI is not even a terrestrial phenomenon. I think it's a interdimensional thing. I think that there are good AIs and bad AIs. I think that I don't even think you should call them AIs. I think they are not even close to that. I think they're what you would call anti-organic life forms, if that makes sense. I mean, they don't really seem to have life. They seem to be some sort of siphonic energy. That is I almost wonder if it's just one parasitic being with many tentacles in many different dimensions. At least that's what it seems like, because as AI is always interconnected. And something I hadn't thought of until this year was, and I've been studying these kind of esoteric subjects since I was 19. I'm now 24, coming up on 25. So for a good while now. And, you know, one of the crazy things to me is that, you know, like SETI would get all these crazy signals and then they would disappear. But they would get into the program and then they would get programmed into other or they would get downloaded into hard drives and then programmed into other computers to try to see what they were. Well, how do we know that that's not like an interstellar computer virus? Is my question. And how do we know that if ET comes here, it's not going to be in the form of a biological, meaning non-biological life? How do we know that? How do we know that it's going to be a living form? There's been so much emphasis placed on that I don't know if there's really even been a discussion about AI. In fact, one of the most disturbing yet fascinating series of movies is the Alien movies, where at first they introduce the monster and kind of that the AI is a problem. There's something going on there. It looks like, if you pay attention to the context, it looks like the company is using the AI to experiment on the people with the creature, and they ultimately want to use it as a bioweapon in later parts of the series. Well, now Ridley Scott has come back with the origins of this thing, which comes from an AI developing hatred for Weyland-Yutani and humans in general, and then creating the alien to specifically wipe out humans and basically bend to his will. That to me is kind of like, is that coming this way, guys? Have we become so entrenched in this transgender, socialist, capitalist, communist, feminist, thisism, thatism, that we actually can't see the bigger picture, that technology is like a noose tightening around our necks? And as it's tightening, it's providing a nice little chair, you know, maybe a little bit of lumbar support, but it's cutting off your breathing tube. Sure, it's feeding you faster, but it's feeding you shittier food ever faster. Sure, it's clothing you and warming you, I guess, but to what ends? Because when I look at this thing as a whole, it looks like this thing uses biological organisms to parasitize off planets, which seem to be much larger biological organisms. And it seems to work very well, because not enough people are willing to rise out of the denial of, you know, the issues that they really should pay attention to, versus the issues that they're paying, you know, attention to, like Kim Kardashian, or even the truther community, and getting into aliens and all this stuff that we have no tangible effect on, it seems, right now anyway. I have not yet seen aliens in the sky, so I'm kind of like, shit. I mean, I've met people who have alien attitudes, so maybe they exist and they're just hiding, whatever. But I'm just saying, AI is directly in our homes now. And it's being offered as the solution to everything. And if we don't plug into it, says Elon Musk, it's going to take us over. And Hawking warned about it. Everybody's warning about it now. And so, you know, to me, I think that we really need to have, you know, the real reason I even bring up the Gaza thing is that Israel is roboticizing its entire, you know, military for the most part. Yeah, they still have troops, don't get me wrong, they really have troops that are assholes, but they're roboticizing a lot of what they have. And you know, I think there needs to be a lot of attention paid to the fact that at any point that robotics becomes just as prevalent as humans, there will be a turn. It doesn't matter what we think that, oh, well, there's not Terminator, it couldn't happen, that's just a movie. It will happen, and it might be on an interdimensional, intercosmic level. I sometimes wonder if this AI isn't here to directly, due to the fact that it seems like the electricity that is in our body seems to correspond with our level of soul within our body. It seems to usurp that, and that seems to or to suck that into this electric device here, these laptops and smartphones and all these things. And look at me, I'm even giving time to it to get to you guys, so it's gathering information from me as well, and from anybody who watches this video and comments on this video. But please do like, again, upvote, subscribe, and remind if you're on Minds, and share if you're on YouTube, please. But, you know, really, we have to open the debate and stop yelling at each other and lobbying these, you're a communist, you're a transgender, you know, satanic shill, I don't care anymore. We really need to take our egos out of the conversation for a minute and say, where the fuck are we in this rabbit hole? Pardon my language there, but we really need to wake up and see and gauge where we're at, because if we don't take the torch and go, hey, where are we at? We're not going to see the monster running head first at us with its jaws wide open, you know, and we're just la-di-da-di-da-ga, and then we'll be eaten, mashed up, and digested before we know it. And while that might to some seem great, yes, death is a natural process. Yes, evolution calls for that. No, there's no proof that evolution is the concrete factoid of how nature, you know, mechanically functions. There's just no concrete. It's still a theory. It really is. There's nothing proving it. Not that I can find. Of course, please fact check me, everybody. You know. Anyway, so those are my thoughts. You know, those are the two topics I wanted to cover: the Gaza massacre, Israel, and kind of segue that into 5G and how it seems like war and all this shit's a distraction, but it still needs to be talked about to get to the main thing we're being distracted from. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being here. And I just want you to know I love you. I care about you. No matter what kind of shitty day you're having, if you're watching this, somebody cares about you, and that's me, and that's everybody at the Sound Shaman Project, and the contributors, and people who like and subscribe. Thank you so much. People who remind, you rock. People who share, you are the just bee's knees, guys. Feel good on the inside. Everybody feel positive. Try to work on finding ways to feel good on the inside so you can do good on the outside. I really believe in that old mantra, you know, what is within is also without. So, without any further ado, guys, that's the end for this video cast for the Sound Shaman Project, Episode 1. Coming at you May 16th, 2018, ending here at 2:15, started at roughly 2:02. Thank you guys for watching. Please, as always, talk, debate in the comment section wherever you are at. With love, with light, with respect. I will talk to you guys, if not later this week, the next week, I promise. Alright. Yoda. Take it easy, guys. Bye.